The Wurg-Hots by Nick Gaspar. Chapter 1. The Sting of Eternity. At 3:17 a.m., the world screamed. A sharp electric zing, straight out of a neon-soaked 80s sci-fi fever dream, ripped through every home on Earth. It wasn't just sound. It was a blade, slicing through reality, rattling teeth, and making hearts stutter. In every kitchen, bedroom, and dive bar bathroom, the air curdled, then tore open. From the rifts slithered the Wurg-hot, quivering brown globs of cosmic filth, each the size of a car, with two glinting eyes like black holes, and a tiny, obscene hole that pulsed with malevolent intent. They appeared everywhere, all at once, unannounced and unwanted, their presence a global violation. Dave Kessler, a washed-up blender salesman from Cleveland, was slumped on his sagging couch, nursing a warm beer and half-watching an infomercial drone about knife sharpeners. His life was a gray slog, bills unpaid, dreams dead, the kind of guy who'd sell you a blender and forget your name by the time you left the store. When the zing hit, his beer hit the floor, and his dingy apartment became ground zero for something unholy. The air shimmered, and a Wurg-hot materialized, its slick, gelatinous mass hovering over his coffee table, knocking over a stack of empty takeout containers. Its eyes pinned him, cold and ravenous, like a predator who'd already won. "Holy shit," Dave muttered, his voice barely a squeak. The Wurg-hot didn't move, but its laughter erupted, a wet, gurgling cacophony that burrowed into his skull, making his thoughts bleed. It was a sound that didn't just echo. It invaded, promising horrors no human mind could hold. Humanity had no name for these things, no stories, no nightmares to warn them. The Wurg-hot were aliens, not from space, but from some parallel hell, omnipresent and godlike, their powers rewriting reality on a whim. They were bored to the point of insanity, having tasted every pleasure, every pain, every twisted thrill across infinite dimensions. Nothing sparked joy anymore. Not star orgies, not galaxy-sized raves, not even the screams of dying worlds. So they came to Earth, their latest playground, to push the boundaries of torment in a frenzied quest to feel something. Torture was their last resort, their desperate bid to chase a high they hadn't felt in eons. "You," the Wurg-hot said, its voice a chorus of jagged whispers, each word dripping with sadistic hunger. "You'll do nicely." Dave's body froze, his muscles locked by an unseen force. He wanted to run, to scream, but the Wurg-hot's will was iron. "What the hell are you?" he choked out, his voice trembling over the creature's relentless giggles. "We are the Wurg-hot," it purred, its eyes gleaming with manic delight. "And you're our spark." The apartment dissolved, the couch, the TV, the world, gone. Dave was nowhere, a gray void stretching into oblivion, his body floating in a sea of nothing. The Wurg-hot loomed, its brown mass swelling until it was all he could see. Its tiny hole twitched, and Dave's gut twisted as his body began to change. His bones cracked, his skin stretched, his insides warped into something profane. The pain was a supernova, endless and all-consuming, as if his soul was being flayed alive. He was becoming one of them. The Wurg-hot's laughter spiked, a deranged hymn to their own desperation. The hole pulsed wider, and something emerged, a writhing elephantine horror, its flesh a grotesque parody of life, its size crushing Dave's mind. He was giving birth, his body forced through a process no human could endure. Time warped, each second a million years, the agony a canvas for the Wurg-hot's art. They watched, their eyes feverish, their laughter a manic plea for sensation. "More!" the Wurg-hot shrieked, its voice raw with need. "Give us more." The creature slid out, and before Dave could scream, it was shoved into his mouth. The taste was apocalypse, rotting cosmos, despair, and a sickly sweetness that burned his soul. He gagged, but the Wurg-Hot's will forced him to swallow. Then it began again. Another birth, another meal, an endless loop in a void of torment, each cycle more brutal, more depraved, as the Wurg-Hot pushed harder, chasing a fleeting spark of feeling. They were addicts, and humanity was their drug. Across the globe, the same horrors unfolded. In every home, people were twisted, broken, remade, all to feed the Wurg-Hot's insatiable need. They'd willed humanity defenseless, their godlike power ensuring no resistance could rise. But in a splinter of Dave's shattered mind, a thought took root. They're desperate. Desperate things make mistakes. He didn't know how, but he'd find their weakness. Even gods could fall if you pushed back hard enough. The zing rang out again, and the void devoured him.
This is brought to you by Ghastliness Media and Ghastliness, the podcast. Music credit goes to Angelo Badalamenti and the great David Lynch. May his artistic soul rest in peace.